guys, it's Chris from Phase Fun Creations. I'm going to be doing my table piece, hopefully this afternoon, this evening, after my husband gets home, because he has all of the drills and the drill bits. And I have to deburr the top side edges as well. So, yesterday, I found this little mold, and I colored it in with some neon-looking powders. And we're going to go in today with probably a couple pieces when it's all said and done. But I just got my Let's Resin package in the mail. And we're going to use our Let's Resin today. It is the Bubble Free, Crystal Clear, Low Odor, and High Gloss. It is a 1-to-1 ratio, so that is equal parts by volume, not by weight. If you've watched any of my previous resin videos, you'll know that I've had very, very good results with my Let's Resin resin products. So, take the wrappers off of that. Excuse me. And I'm going to mix up some resin. I'm probably going to do about a cup, maybe a little more, because I don't just want to do our little ducky. Now this resin says, does it even tell me how long it's got? High gloss self-leveling. There it is. I missed that in the box. Now it did come with some pumps, but I'm not going to use those. So, I'm trying to see how long this particular bottle has. Working time is 40 to 50 minutes. So I'll have a good bit of time if I make a decent amount. So I will put that over here in my little drawer. And trying to think of what else I can do today. Because I'd really like to make a clock. But I don't know if I want to have enough resin to do that. At least not today. I have a lot of different molds for things like earrings and various things like that. You know what? Maybe we'll do it. I have one of these kits. I've opened part of it, and it is a display piece. So I got the holes in the center. So maybe we'll work with that as well today. You know what? This one can wait. We will just work with this one. Sorry for all of the confusion. Just sometimes I get excited because I have new things that I haven't done before. And I would really like to do them. So, that being said, I'm going to try not to hit the tripod. And I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see pretty much everything that I'm doing. Okay. So do I really want to use the big one? See, that one is 8 ounces. That one's 8 ounces. Yeah, we better use the big one, just in case. Alright, sorry guys, I'm usually a little bit more prepared than this. Alright, so I've literally never done these before, and I'm really excited about it. I'm going to put you on pause because I'm going to set up my other leveling table. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have not got that put together. It is an off-brand. I did order it off of Temu. However, as much as I love my GSV brand, this one I got off Amazon. This one I got off Temu. Oh, that's not good. Oh, those actually tip. Okay. Did not know that. Alright, so anyway. Apparently it's got these little protector pieces on these, and I did not know. I wonder if those tip over like that. These actually swivel a little bit. Could have used that with the big piece a while ago. Anyway, so we'll take off these little blue protective covers. It came with silicone mat and of course the little tool. So we'll and I did have to re-level this one because my workstation is not quite as level as it should be. But not too worried about that at the moment. I don't know why there's little nuts on there. Just like the other leveling table, it's fairly easy to put the little feet on there. Just stick them in the thing and spin them for the most part. Alright. So, flip it over. And it says we're a little off bubble, so we'll try. Alright, so we got to go up on the left. Slide you over a little bit. A little bit more. And there we go. Oh, it's way off on the back. Oh no, it's way off on the front. So we got to, alright. So the way I do this is if it's way off up on the front side, I get a couple of my bigger, I'll keep that one out. Get a couple of the bigger popsicle sticks. And we start with a little too much. Okay, we need a couple more. So it might need 3 on each side because I don't want these wheels to, or these little feet to go down any further because I do not. So it's 3 and 3. I don't want the little feet to come out of the where you screw them in at. Alright, and there's that. So, and I apologize, this hopefully won't be a super long video, and I will try to take breaks in between, so if it's too long, I apologize. I know my last video for the table was quite long, but it was multiple videos pieced together. Still learning about how to do that, so please be patient with me, guys. And I use guys as a collective term. No inference or embarrassment or insults toward anybody specific. Male, female, or otherwise. Alright. So, just lay down our brand new silicone mat. It came with our new table. Now while I'm here, let's grab a couple of these gloves and set those off to the side. Alright, in this kit it came the stand pieces, which will obviously sit in the center of these little trays. So we're going to put one of those in that corner. Now I have had these for a while, as you can tell, because I literally just opened them for you guys. So we'll do these two on this one and do that on this one. There's our stir sticks, gloves, wipes, paper towels. Now, I'm going to need this because since this is going to be a decent sized piece, I want to be sure that I have enough resin. And then if I've got some extra, I can find some smaller molds to use because we have places up here, and I'm hoping y'all can see all of this a little better. There you go. So I have places over here. I can move these around a little bit, and I've got a couple areas here if we have too much resin. So my next question is, how do I want to do it? What colors? So I'm going to put you on pause again, and I'll be back in just a minute as soon as I try and figure out what I want to do. Be right back. Okay, so I have never used these before. I got them off Temu, and it's the artificial foil or whatever they call them. So I'm going to open my package here. And so what I want to do, I think, is I want to use some of these on all three pieces. And then I'm probably going to use my black resin pigment paste that I got off of Temu. There is no name brand on it. And I haven't used very much of it. In fact, this one isn't even open, so I've not used that one at all. So that'll be a first for today. So there's our black pigment paste. And I could use the black pigment that I bought off of Temu, but it would take pretty much all of it. And I want to keep my black resin for as long as possible. Okay, so because I don't like glitter, and I know this stuff's probably going to fall apart on me, I'm going to put on my gloves, and then we'll figure out what colors to use that will go well together on these pieces. And then I'm going to use some kind of a fluffy brush or something to burnish it onto the molds. Alright, so this is like little multiple books here. There is, I want to say this one might be a purple, but it might be like a purpley pink, maybe? Fuchsia. So I kind of like that. I like how they've got these packaged separately a little bit. This one is, ooh, like a rose gold, pinky gold. I like that. Is there more of that one? That one is a gold. Hopefully you guys can see those. And then, oh, that's a pretty green. They have a pretty green, like a grass green maybe. Now I'm partial to greens, so that's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. There's a Christmas red. It's really pretty. Let's see, there is that an orangey gold, tangerine looking color, coppery color maybe. This one looks maybe a deeper red or pink maybe. Oh, that's pink. That's cute. Now, obviously this one is a blue. That's beautiful. I like that. And then the next pile underneath that, it's more of a pinky coral, maybe. looks like another green. Yep, it's more of a matte green. And there's not many left, guys, bear with me. There's a pretty sky blue. I'll call that 57 Chevy blue. And we'll set these over here and get them all off. There we go. Set down the cardboard. Ooh, it's kind of an odd color. It's a black, but on the other side, it's almost like a greenish black. That's kind of cool. All right, and there's another pinkish kind of color. There's like a royal blue. I like that. Let's see, this one is a yellow gold. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, we'll use this one for sure. I really like that one. It's kind of a seafoam green, I guess. We'll put that over there. Whew, there's glitter pieces flying everywhere. There's silver, which we all knew silver had to be in there someplace. This one is a real pretty purpley color. And this one I think is the last. Not sure what color that one would be, but I like that. All right, so I need something to go with that green. All right, let me figure this out, and I'll be right back because I know we're already 18 minutes in, so hold on. All right, so I've narrowed it down to 4 colors, and I'm going to try, and they're kind of, I'm hoping fall colors-ish. So we've got this real pretty, I'm going to call it like a seafoam greenish kind of thing. And a pinkish gold, copper color. Got a couple of those laid out. And I've got real pretty yellow gold looking. I've got a few of those. And then I've got some that are brighter yellow. Now I've never used these before, so we're going to give this a shot. Got a nice long brush because that one's all further framing. But so all I'm going to do is kind of open this up a little bit. And I guess it really doesn't matter what side too much to use. But I'm going to tear, this is so fragile, just barely tear that one there. And I'm just going to kind of stick it in spots. If I don't want it there, like too much in one place, and then all we got to do is just kind of brush it on. Or so I've been told. And it seems to be working. So this should not take too long. So I want to put a little bit on each piece. A little bit here, and just kind of tap it. It helps that there's a lot of static on there. And I probably could use a smaller brush, but it's the hardest one, or the stiffest brush that I've got. Short of using, there's little foam applicators for like Mod Podge. And I'm not a big fan of those too much, unless I have to use them. Alright, so there's that. And it will stick pretty much anywhere I want to put it. I got too much in that spot. Oh well. Anyway, like I said, the goal is to kind of just There we go. Keep brushing at it, it might dissipate a little bit. Some of it will, some of it won't. But that's okay. This may be a gift. It might end up being mine. I don't know yet. So if y'all see a piece that you like, any of them are up for sale. Don't be afraid to ask. You can message me on my Facebook page under the same name, Vase Fun Creations. And I will get back with you whenever, oops, I possibly can. Yeah, that one decided it wanted to stay there. So. It's actually kind of fun. I didn't expect to enjoy this. All right, take another piece. I'm hoping that you all can see this fairly well. Don't know where I want to put some of the stuff because I don't want to get too much in too many places. Especially since some of it's coming off kind of bigger than I wanted it to. Alright, so we'll put that back in here for a moment. What I think was there. Nope, that was this one. Let's go with this real pretty copper kind of color. I might need to get some more of that green. I really like that. That is so pretty. I might actually look for a pink. I don't know if that would work in this piece or not. Bristle right there. Alright, so I have the little pieces. So I'll just start tearing them off smaller. That way I can manage it better. Like I said, these seem like they're really fun to work with so far. It's a lot faster than using mica powder too. Alright, so I'll set that piece right there. Let me find, oh, that's a pretty pink. We'll use one of those. Just add a little flair to it. Real pretty pink one. Just add a little extra zing and different coloration to it. Kind of give it like a, I don't know, not quite an 80s vibe, but you know, something very similar, I guess. Well, that one wanted to go in the corner. Alright, so some pink here. Little pink there. And, oops. Guys, if you hear some kind of vibration every now and then, it's just my phone telling me that I'm getting Facebook notifications. Alright. I really like that pink. That's going to be really pretty when all this is done. So add a little bit more to the big one. Oops. Getting kind of picky where it wants to stay, isn't it? I try to turn my ringer off on my phone. That way I can actually hear my phone ring or see my phone ring instead of having to answer it or turn the video off. frankly, I don't want to be rude and interrupt this because I know you guys are taking your time out of your day to watch this with me. I don't know if with me is the right term, but I think you all know what I mean. But anyway. Okay, we're almost done with the pink, I believe. A little bit more in that corner, and the rest can go there. All right, I think I want to use just a tiny bit more of that green because that is really cute. I like that green. So we'll just take off a little piece. And I like the fact that the green kind of throws some different colors as well, different ways you look at it. Oh, I didn't want you there. A little bit there. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to real quickly kind of rub these in. And if they fall apart, I'm okay with that because it's kind of what I'm hoping it'll do anyway for some of these because I want to spread them out a little bit. Some of them have like little air bubbles. And see, if I rub it with my glove, just a smidge, gives it an odd texture on the back of it because my fingernail, I guess. This is so much fun. Guys, if you're a new resin beginner, and I'm not experienced, like some of the people that I follow, Julie Cut and Wendy with Toompish, Claire and, was it Claire's Crafts, I think is what it is. Claire, please, if you see this, let me know, because I kind of forgot the name of your channel. I'm sorry. Claire's Creations or Claire's Crafts, you know. But anyway, they have done more with this kind of stuff than I have ever. Like, this is my first time using this stuff. So, I'm going to get this one a little dispersed, I think. Use my fingernail a little bit. Kind of rub it. There we go. It's different. All right, you don't want to watch me do all this, so I will be right back. Okay, so I found a smaller brush, and I didn't do a real good job with this one. Just kind of brushed it out till it kind of faded on the edges around the outside of some of these. But this one, you can really tell where I did it at. So with that being said, I've decided I'm going to use some color shifting micas, some chameleon powder. These are not less resin. These are from Temu. This one is a golden blue green shifting. You can see that. I'm trying to keep the colors to fall, even with those shades of green in there. This one is supposed to flash brown, red, and purple. I don't know about the purple, but yeah, whatever. And this one is supposed to be a red, orange, yellow. And you can definitely see a little bit of that in there. So I'm going to use those three colors pretty much the same fashion as I did with these. I'm just going to kind of throw them on there, and I love these things. They've got little toppers on them. You pop them open and just dump them out. So just kind of sprinkle some on there, a little bit here and there on each one of these. Like I said, I'm trying to keep kind of a fall, Halloween-y, you know, maybe not Halloween, but a type of autumn-esque coloration. Put that one over there so I know I used it. Ooh. Okay, that one Must have taken off the little cap. Oh well. It'll still work. Like I said, just sprinkle some. Be like Bob Ross back when he was on TV. You know, there's no mistakes. There's happy mistakes. All right, I'm gonna have a couple of my wipes here because my hands are covered at this moment. Always keep your baby wipes in hand, or keep them handy. They're really good in a pinch. A little bit of alcohol sometimes might be needed, but cleans right off. Just like that. And again, if you need alcohol, spritz it down with a little bit of alcohol. It's no big deal. All right, this one has a cap. Now I'm going to keep these on the side, these colors. That way, oh, that's pretty. It matches that one color really good. That way I can add more if I decide I need some more colors to this. Again, I am going to use a black resin or black resin paste for this. That's a nice pumpkin-y color. All right. Now, make sure we're all sturdy on these corners here real quick. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of rub it around, let it do its own little thing. Wherever it wants to go, it'll go. And probably should have brought that other brush over here. And if I'm not going to be overly concerned if there's clear spots, because like I said, it's going to have a black resin anyway. So, but I might do a clear coat first. Looking at it like this, simply because I need a little bit in that corner. I want almost like a 3D effect. And we can see the color, and it will just kind of pop on the on top of the black resin, because it will have a little bit of light coming through. That's what I'm going for anyway. Don't know if it'll work. We'll find out. All right, a couple of these might need a little extra powder, which is why we kept it on the side. Whoops, we're gonna make a mess today. All right, just kind of doing circles, doing side to side, you know, whatever, doesn't matter. Because it's fall, it's chaotic, you know. Leaves are coming off the trees, and so they're not going to come down in perfect circles or, you know, land anywhere well you would expect it to. So, you know, little chaos. And I am anxiously waiting to see how this is going to turn out, because it is already really, really cool. All right, so I think this is the first one I used. Yes. And a little bit more of this one, which is the red, orange, yellow. I don't want a whole lot showing in the centers, because that's an OCD thing. I don't know. But anyway, I don't want everything to be completely covered, but I don't want it to be completely open either. So you can see a few of these areas. Just kind of brush some of this around, and maybe we can catch up on some of this stuff and kind of make it like a muddy presentation, you know. kind of like a, what they call around the faded picture edges, the vignette, whatever it is. It's just kind of a fade. I'm hoping I'm making sense, guys. All right, I did not add anything to that one, so we are good. All right, now just clean off the brush. Baby wipes are amazing. And bring it back to what it needs to look like. All right, I'm going to pause one more time. I'm going to get my resin together, and I'm not going to need that big cup right now, I don't think. I don't think 8 ounces is going to be enough to cover these. So yeah, I'm going to use the big cup. But anyway, I'm going to put you on pause, get my resin together, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we put on the different mica powders. Got my resin stirred up. Again, it is my Let's Resin brand. And I think I want to add some of this really pretty autumn-esque glitter. I know you're not going to see a lot of it, but it'll help fill in the rest of the gaps with a little bit of contrast, I think. So, a little, we'll just use the popsicle stick. Need to get some more of this one. I really enjoy this color. Alright, that should be enough. Where I put my lid. And I'll set that over here for the moment. Alright, so I did about 2 little dips of my popsicle stick into this glitter. The only thing I don't like about the glitter, it's hard to get out of my mixing containers. So, yeah, that's perfect. All right, so give that a quick stir. I've stirred this. I did 2 cups. 1 cup part A, 1 cup part B. Let's see, maybe on the edge there. 2 cups. But, and again, I've got like a 50-minute working time. So I could have just let it sit for a while and come back to it. However, because it's so deep, I didn't want to take a chance in doing that. All right. So, wipe off my little spatula stir stick until I need it again. And I'm just going to let it go wherever it decides it wants to go for the moment. Come over here and kind of do the same thing. Now, I am not worried about having too much resin at this point because, like I said, I have other molds that I can use. So, and I just want to kind of gently direct it where I want it to go. So I don't want to scrape the bottom of it. Like I said, I'm only doing a really, really thin layer right now because I want to use my black resin paste. And if I add too much here, then I can't do a top coat later. That one could use just a little bit more. And again, we're just going to help it go into some of these other areas real quick. So I was thinking about some of the other channels that I follow. There's Daniel Cooper. There is Marvelous Artsy, I believe is her channel. And I will try to tag those in the description. These are really, really awesome resin artists, and I follow them pretty much religiously. So if you get a chance, go over and check out their channels and give them a helping hand. Like, share, and subscribe their stuff too, because it'll help them out. Some of them have affiliate links for different products. You can get discounts with them. I do not have that yet. Maybe one day. Anyway, like I said, we're just kind of giving these a little push into some of these areas to kind of help it along. That might need a little extra in this mold. That's also another reason why I use glitter in my resin sometimes, because it helps me to visualize it a little better of how much I need if I'm doing a multi-coat project. So we'll add a little bit more of this one. Now, I'll go ahead and add just a little more to that one. Now this is a translucent clear glitter, clear resin. And when I add the black, it's really going to help out a lot, because, okay, that one's almost half full. Still use a little bit more over here. Anyway, because it's translucent or almost clear, when I put the black layer on top of this, that'll be able to get a little bit of light in between the two layers. So that's my reasoning behind that. Wipe off the edge of this real quick, that way it doesn't drip anywhere. And I'm going to set that off to the side, because I'm going to find, I'm not going to use the seashell mold. Glitter is not necessarily for that. I've got, what, about almost 3/4 of a cup left. Just there. Let's see, what do I have? That might work. Alright, so I have these cute little bowls, and we'll see if these will hold the rest of that. One of them might completely by itself. Now, these are two of the same size, and with that glitter, I am going to put some resin into another cup, because I want to make two different colors here. Actually, we'll use two different cups. Now we use the one. Sorry guys, I'm a little indecisive today. It's nothing out of the ordinary, is it? Anyway, I want to use a little bit of my new alcohol inks. They're metallic, so it'll go very well with these. And I'm thinking with the gold, oh, heard something fall. Trying to stay in line with fall. I could either use a yellow or I think I'm going to use the green, which is going to be this one right here. I have not used these yet, so I'm excited about trying these out. And again, it is a mica, or excuse me, it is a metallic alcohol ink. So it'll give maybe a little bit more pizzazz. And these do have the sediments in the bottom of them. after you open them, you got to keep your finger over the tip because otherwise it will flood the inside of your cap. All right, so I'll try 5 drops for the starting. Yeah, that's not going to color too much, is it? All right. Well, that's mildly disappointing. All right, so we'll add a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I might actually have to go in with a little bit of mica powder, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm just going to go into a little dish mold anyway. What I could theoretically do, if these were not already covered with the foils, I could go in and drop the alcohol inks on there and try my hand at blooms down the road. But we'll see what happens at a later time. All right, I'm going to do a few more. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5 for a total of 15. They do smell bad. Remember, this is an alcohol ink. If you get these, do not torch them until the alcohol has time to evaporate. Okay? Don't want to catch anything on fire, guys. Nobody told me about that, and I should have known when the word alcohol and stuff was on. I might add a few more. We'll do 20 total. So it'll be, well, 1, 3, 4, 5. All right, put the top back on there and put it back where it goes. That's better. So about 20 drops of the green. Now I know that since it's metallic, the metallic particles will probably sink to the bottom, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. All right, so scrape that off for now. All right, now I'm thinking that I would like to add a chameleon powder in a very different color. I'll go with olive. It's kind of a pale, shifty color. It's really pretty, guys. Look at that. It's almost like a white. And we're going to put that in this one. I have approximately just a little under half a cup in there. Oops. So we're going to use the stick. I would bring this over to you to show you a little better. I don't know if you can see it or not. We'll use about 2 of those to start with. Set that under there so I don't knock it off. So not a whole lot. Just hopefully it's enough, and I might add a little more, but hopefully it's enough to kind of give it that creamy, molten, look at me kind of color. Because I don't want it to overpower the green too much. And if I have to add a little more green, and as far as drops or something, we can do that, I guess. It is so pretty. It's kind of an angelic sensation. Alright, so I am going to pour this into a smaller cup because it's going to make it easier for me in the long run for cleanup, I think, and for pouring. So really, really don't want to mess my table up too badly, if at all. Scrape part of that off. That way I can get the resin off the edge there. And now we'll go back in and we'll scrape off the edges. Now, I was asked by somebody who's watched the video, they sent me a private message wondering why, when I use this cup, I don't use the popsicle sticks. And it's a simple answer. If I use the full amount, which is 4 cups, like I have on my last project, the sticks are way too short to get all, get down in there and actually stir it up real well. So it does, kind of defeats the purpose, I guess. Alright, so we'll give us a good healthy spray of alcohol to help clean up here in a few minutes. Set that off to the side. Matter of fact, we'll just go and spray those a little bit. Okay. So, I need to close this off because I will knock it over if I don't take care of it now. Yeah, I think that green could be a smidge darker. So, I'm going to add just a drop of blue, kind of brighten that up a little bit, because this is a pretty blue. And it will go with those. So maybe we'll make this a set. Thank you all for indulging me for this long. I'm not sure how long this video has been so far, but I really appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to go in with 3 drops of blue. See, not a whole lot. Just darken it up a little bit. Again, those alcohol inks really do smell bad. Alright. Add another 3 and put the cap back on. Because I am not going to use a whole lot of that. I know they don't add a whole lot of color, but I don't want the blue to be too dark. All right. So, let's wipe off my stick for now until I need it here shortly. I just don't want to make a huge mess on my table. Now, what I want to do is I want to move this back for now. And then I'm going to put this here so you all can watch what I'm doing. Now, since I have more of this one, we'll put that in first. Okay? Slide back over here. My tripod's in the way. We'll give that another quick stir. Now, it is getting thicker, so I'm probably pushing my work time. It's not getting warm yet, but it is starting to thicken up just a little bit. All right, so we're going to go in with this one. Smash the edges down a little bit. Make sure we get any possible air bubbles out of there. And go with the green. And that's actually going to finish it off, I think. Let that settle for a minute. And just a tiny bit of the golden olive for the top. Alright, I overestimated, or underestimated. So we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll pour some of this in here. Just kind of make sure we don't have any air bubbles around the edges, because I don't want to go in with silicone tool or anything, because I think that scratches up my mold a little too much. Add a little bit more to that. Just a smidge. And then go in with my green. A little bit more. And some more gold. All right, and that's pretty much all I can put into that one. Okay. Get another baby wipe, clean off my hands. Probably should have used the duck mold, huh? All right, so I've got a ring holder. And this will probably not be big enough, but we'll find out. So we'll do the green in the center because it's got that nice piece in the middle. And I'm going to squish it. Make sure there's no air bubbles down there in the middle, okay? And we're just going to go in around the edges with the gold. Nice and easy. Kind of let that settle for a minute, because there are quite a few places where air pockets can get into. So just kind of get these outer edges here. The best we can. There's one. How I got dog hair on the outside of my mold, but I did. Can't do anything without my dog showing up. Alright, so that should do it with that. Right now I'm just going to finish, around the outside edge. Guys, we may actually have just enough to finish this piece, maybe, because that is not all the green yet. All right. I'm not overly upset if I have to throw this cup away because it's not one of my favorite ones. But we'll see what happens. It's plastic, it's not very flexible, so If we don't have enough, it'll be really close between the two colors. Alright, we'll set that off to the side for right there. And now we're just going to go in the middle and finish it off, I hope. Oh, that's going to be so close to perfect. Alright, so we'll get this other tool here. Nope, not that one. I thought I had another silicone tool that I could use. This will have to work. It's not my favorite one, but it is almost perfectly full, guys. Oops. Try to get as much of this out so nothing goes to waste, or very little. J Diction is one of my favorites, and well, between J Diction and Let's Resin brand, they are my two favorite kinds of resin, and they work so well. Like I said, today I'm using the Let's Resin brand, and it is just beautiful how it. Go ahead and do this one. They work so beautifully. Guys, that's about all the resin I can get out of there. So, there you have it. We've got 4 projects out of 4 cups of resin. And I couldn't be more pleased. Probably could have used just a little bit more for that one. But we'll take it, you know. As I said before, I consider that a win. So until later this evening, when these 3 pieces are done, I'll take you down, let you look at them. That's pretty much all I have for you right now. See the glitter? And if you look, they are basically about halfway full, if you can tell that, for our pieces for the tray holder, or the serving tray. Now this, you can see just a little bit below the rim. And that's alright. Look there. Those are going to be so pretty. Alright guys, this has been an hour long and it's not what I expected, so I apologize. But until later, when I get ready to add the second layer on the serving tray, I'll see y'all on the flip side. Bye!